Welcome back to Her Rules Radio. This is your hostess, your life, health, and success mentor, Alexandra Jameson. Welcome back to the podcast. Hope you're doing great. Today on this short Power Pod episode, I want to talk about fascinating news about creativity for your success. Whether you are a coach, a healer, a doctor, a teacher, a consultant, you are some kind of leader in your life. And I am diving deep into creative thinking, the benefits of creativity in our lives for all leaders, and how we can use creative thinking and creativity to get the success that we want. So some really fascinating stories have been coming out in the news. One recently from the Montreal Museum of Art is partnering with doctors to prescribe art. Okay, stay with me here. So in Montreal, physicians are able to write prescriptions for their patients to go to the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts. And why they're giving these prescriptions to get free admission to the museum is because people are able to have a relaxing, revitalizing experience, a moment of respite browsing art collections. This is really, really beautiful. The museum's director and these doctors believe that cultural and artistic experiences will soon be recognized like physical activity for their health benefits. They said that the neutral, beautiful, inspiring space of the museum can boost mood, improve well-being, and give people a chance to explore experiences and senses outside of any illness or disease or downturn that they're experiencing. Now, to go hand in hand with this, there was an article put up on the Harvard website, Harvard Medical School, in 2017, had this big article called The Healing Power of Art: How Creative Activities Can Relieve Stress, Aid Communication, and Help Arrest Cognitive Decline. So there was a recent documentary called I Remember Better When I Paint that shows a growing body of research into the cognitive beneficial effects of making art. And this movie demonstrates how drawing and painting stimulated memories in people with dementia and enabled them to reconnect with the world. And people with dementia weren't the only beneficiaries. Studies have shown that expressing themselves through art can help people with depression, anxiety, cancer. The integrative therapies and art therapy program at Massachusetts General Cancer Center also uses art classes and artistic therapies to help people who are dealing with cancer, but also memory issues, etc. So there's tons of evidence that shows the healing power of art. Now, why am I talking about this in relationship to leadership or entrepreneurship? Well, if you feel physically better and more relaxed and your well-being increases because of your exposure to art, or you've been in an art class, or you've just sat down with your old sketch pad and some pencils, then you are going to feel physically and emotionally better. It affects our nervous system. It helps us feel calm. It turns on that kind of hopeful, questioning, searching part of the brain. It can help us get unstuck and out of one energetic state of being into another one. So having more creative ideas, being consistently creative, having more energy, coming up with creative problem solving, these are all huge benefits when it comes to being a leader or being an entrepreneur. And a lot of us have lost our connection or our confidence with creativity, mainly because when we were kids, we went to school and we were told to color inside the line, or we were given a very specific art assignment, and or we didn't like drawing, but we wanted to play with clay, but we weren't allowed to, or somebody told us that our horse looked terrible. So many of us were given the message when we were young that we weren't good enough yet, when in fact, everyone is an artist. I truly believe this. Every single human being has creative thinking and a creativity in them. We just need time and support and resources and access to practice so that we can get better. So let's jump right in about how to enhance creative self-confidence, which is going to boost your leadership success. So allow yourself the permission to be creative in your life. The artist Chuck Close said, "Inspiration is for amateurs. The rest of us just show up and get to work." So this is the first step to being more creative. The first step is to repeatedly allow yourself to be creative. Show up to the page. Show up and write. Show up and draw. Dance. Move. Sing. Whatever it is that you're curious about. Draw. There's a great online program called Skillshare where you can get like 2 free months of free online classes. I go there all the time. YouTube has thousands of videos to teach you how to draw or paint or whatever. So the first step is to allow yourself the permission to be creative in your life and in your work. Believe that you can be creative and keep showing up that way. The second is to, and this is what I do with a lot of my clients, recognize your stories about creativity and being an artist. Maybe you've been terrified that if you tried to be an artist, someone would think that you were ridiculous. Maybe you have old stories from when you were a kid that being an artist was a silly thing to want to do, or that you're not good at it. But we have to kind of excavate those beliefs we have from our lives that, why do we believe this way about ourselves, about our creativity, about our ability to be an artist or a creative person? So shining the light of creative awareness on these old stories that may very well be false, so that you can flip the story and embrace your creative abilities. So one of the next steps is to, complete a creative project. Actually, sit down and start something and complete it. A lot of people they lose their motivation when they have kind of half-finished creative projects lying around. Or maybe you're a creative project starter or creative supply hoarder, but you don't do anything with it, right? This is an important question to ask. Am I a creative art supply hoarder? If you have half-finished projects laying around or weighing you down or hiding out in closets and shelves, it can weigh on you emotionally. So pick a project and finish it. Do not allow creative clutter to weigh you down. Create completion for yourself. It is very satisfying. So if you're going to practice hand lettering, like just practice a full page of one letter, that's completion. Or if you have something that you've been wanting to finish, book the time in your calendar. Sit down with that project and finish it. It will bring you a sense of real confidence so that you can move on to the next thing. And finally, I want to help dispel the idea that creativity should come easily. The idea that artistry or creativity should just be fast and quick, and if you're an artist, it should be easy, it's a toxic idea. It's not that simple, and it requires a lot of failure. The only way we learn to do any kind of artistic endeavor or be a public speaker or create an amazing pitch deck or be a great graphic designer or put together slides or whatever it is that you do that's creative, we have to learn by doing. I have felt these creative forces in me for years, and I do my best to make beautiful things, but sometimes that means making terrible, disappointing failures and then trying again and again until you finally get good at it. Right? There's a great quote from Ira Glass from This American Life. He talks about how, like, what's so hard about being a beginning artist is that you have good taste. Like, you know what's good, but your abilities and skills aren't quite up to the level of your taste yet. So you think you're terrible, but really you just need more practice. And my watercolor teacher, who I've been working with for over 10 years now, she's like, you have, and this is a quote from somebody else, she said, you have 10,000 bad paintings in you. Get them out of you as soon as possible so you can get to the good ones. And that's just another way of saying any artistic or creative or entrepreneurial idea that you have is going to come with failures. And whether you're learning how to throw pots or do watercolor, it's okay to fail. You just got to keep going. Go, okay, what can I learn from this? And move on. Try again. So all of these lessons from artists and the world of creativity and creative thinking point out a couple things to me. One, believing that we are creative and that we have the ability and the autonomy and the freedom and the resources to create our vision of life is, I believe, a basic human need, a basic human drive. And it takes decision. It takes a decision. You got to decide to commit to being an artist, to being a creative, to being a creative leader. I am going to believe in my vision and this desire in me to be good at this thing that I feel tugging at my soul. So all of these things are related. And I'm going to be talking a lot more about this because it's inspiring to me. I know that it's helped me overcome a lot of concerns and challenges, and it's helped me to write more and paint more and create beautiful things in a life that I feel really good about. And it's helping me help my coaching clients as well to really tap into this creative thinking and mindset pieces that are both physically and spiritually enlivening, and also bring really great quality to our work and bring courage to our work so that we can take more risks and aim higher in that professional success that we want as well. So, thanks for listening in to my creative Power Pod. We'll be back next week with a great guest. Have a beautiful week, everyone. And if you're not already, come out over to Instagram, follow me at DeliciousAlex. We'll see you back here next week. Mwah!